In the last video, I showed you how I set up this vacuum card for my Q5 Max Roborock vacuum. Now I want to show you how I set up these tiles to do zone-specific cleaning. Now, one thing you can do with this vacuum card is you can add shortcuts here at the bottom using YAML code to create the same functionality. The problem for me was that this didn't end up being very user-friendly for the rest of the people in my family, so I ended up going with these tile cards instead. Either way, what we need to do is we need to figure out how to send the vacuum the right room to clean. So in order to do that, the first thing we're going to do is going into Developer Tools. And under the Actions tab, under Actions, we're going to type in Get Map. And that's going to get the maps from our Roborock vacuum. We need to add a target, even though I only have one. But I'm going to choose my Q5 Max device here, and then perform action. What this does is, now in my case it didn't do anything because I just ran this while setting up for this video, but what you can see down here is each room gets a number associated with it. The problem with this is that I actually have 6 rooms. My office is missing from this list. So how do we figure out whether office is number 15 or number 21 or some other number? Well, from this tab here, from the Actions tab and the Developer Tools, what we can do is we can do Send Command. Again, choosing the Q5 RoboMax in my case. The command we're going to send is called app_segment_clean. And then we want to check parameters, and here we're going to type in the number of the room to clean. So if I typed in 16 right now and clicked on perform action, this would clean my living room. But what I actually want to figure out is whether it will clean my office. So I'm going to start with 15, click on perform action, and in my case nothing happened. So I'm going to try 21 instead, click on perform action, and voila, my vacuum is now trying to clean the office. So now I know that number 21 is my office. That was the missing number that I needed to make this work. Now, in order to get this functionality onto the dashboard, we're going to need to set up some scripts. So under Settings, Automations and Scenes, and Scripts, as you can see here, I already have these scripts configured, and they're the exact same setup as we had in the Developer Tools. So if I'm just going to go on Clean Kitchen, for example, the first thing I'm going to do is the vacuum stop command. Based on what I learned from other people, the vacuum will not immediately go to a new room if just the send command is sent to the vacuum. So we need to stop what the vacuum is doing. Now, if the vacuum is currently docked, this doesn't do anything. But we have to stop the vacuum first before we can send a new segment to clean. I put a delay for 3 seconds in here, only just to make sure that the vacuum itself is reset and ready to receive a command, and then we're going to use the vacuum send command. Now for my kitchen, we're going to use again this app segment clean, and then under parameters, which we want to check, my kitchen is room number 18, so we're simply going to type in 18 down here. What this does now is the vacuum stops, it waits for 3 seconds, and then it cleans the kitchen. Now that you have the script set up, all we have to do is create the tile cards to activate the script. So if I go on my dashboard, click Edit, and we're going to add a tile card, and we're going to make that the function of the script. So let's just use Clean Kitchen as an example. Under Content, the name I'm going to add is Kitchen. Let's capitalize it just for the heck of it. The icon I'm going to choose is also that of a kitchen or something that reminds us of what the vacuum is going to clean. So I'm going to use the countertop. I'm going to make this a vertical card. Interactions, we don't need to do anything here. And under Features, I'm going to add a feature. I'm going to add a button. And if we click that button, right now it says press, but I wanted to say clean. Save that. And now I have a tile card that activates the kitchen script. So if I click on this, the vacuum will now clean the kitchen. And that's how I set up all these different rooms, right? My living room, my kitchen, my dining room, my cubby area, etc. Went through the developer tools to get the app segment that needed to be cleaned, get the number for each room, and then set up scripts to send the command to tell the vacuum which segment of the map I want cleaned. Pretty simple stuff, but it takes a little bit of finesse through the developer tools to get the right numbers, to get the right codes, and then setting up the scripts to make the magic happen.